psychology behind your purchases. Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel, India Business Insights. If you are curious about what drives consumer behavior and how it impacts businesses, you have come to the right place. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. We are excited to kick off a brand new playlist dedicated to consumer demand and behavior. In this series, we will break down the fascinating psychology behind why people buy what they do, and today we are diving straight into our first topic, the psychology of spending, what influences your purchases. Have you ever wondered why you end up buying things you don't need or how certain ads stick in your head? It's not random, it's psychology. Emotions, clever advertising, and even the people around us can heavily influence our spending decisions. So, whether you are a curious consumer or a business owner looking to understand your customers better, stick around. By the end of this video, you will have a fresh perspective on how spending habits are shaped and maybe even some tips to make smarter buying decisions. In this series, we will use examples largely from Indian companies. Understanding the psychology of spending. The intricate landscape of consumer behavior in India reveals a complex interplay between psychological triggers and economic decision making. In 2023, the total consumer spending reached Rs 137 trillion, reflecting a sophisticated market driven by emotional and rational impulses. Number 1. Emotional spending landscape. Consumers in urban centers demonstrate remarkable spending patterns influenced by psychological factors. Stress-induced shopping has become a significant economic phenomenon, with metropolitan professionals allocating approximately 18 to 22% of their discretionary income to emotional purchases. The average impulse purchase value hovers around Rs 3,500, indicating a substantial economic impact of psychological spending triggers. Number 2. Digital transformation and consumer behavior. The digital revolution has dramatically reshaped consumer psychology. With 467 million social media users, platforms have become powerful economic influencers. Millennials and Generation Z exhibit a 62 to 71% likelihood of making purchases based on digital recommendations, creating a new ecosystem of consumer-driven marketing strategies. Psychological pricing strategies play a crucial role in consumer decision-making. The anchoring bias influences approximately 41% of purchase decisions, while scarcity principles create a 36% increase in purchase urgency. Charm pricing techniques demonstrate a remarkable 67% conversion rate, highlighting the sophisticated psychological mechanisms underlying economic transactions. Number 3. Financial literacy and spending patterns. Empirical research indicates a strong correlation between financial literacy and spending behavior. Individuals with comprehensive financial education demonstrate a 35% reduction in impulsive spending, suggesting the transformative potential of psychological awareness and economic education. Emotional triggers in spending. Emotions have a huge impact on our spending decisions, often leading to behaviors like impulsive buyings, retail therapy, and FOMO, fear of missing out. Let's break down how these emotional triggers shape our habits with some interesting data to back it up. Number 1. Impulse buying. Impulse buying happens when we make unplanned purchases due to emotions like stress or excitement. In fact, 88% of people admit to making impulse purchases, and the average person spends around $276 per month on things they didn't plan to buy. Online shopping platforms make it even easier to give in to this impulse. 62% of impulse buys now happens online, thanks to features like one-click purchasing and targeted ads. Events like Black Friday or seasonal sales only make this worse, creating a rush to buy before the deals are gone. Number 2. Retail therapy. Retail therapy is when people shop to boost their mood or cope with stress. Studies show that 62% of shoppers buy things to cheer themselves up and 28% do so to celebrate good times. During the COVID 19 pandemic, global e commerce sales surged by 27.6% as many of us turned to shopping for comfort while stuck at home. While retail therapy can offer temporary relief, it often leads to buyer's remorse or financial strain if it is not done with a clear budget in mind. Number three, FOMO, fear of missing out. FOMO is a powerful emotional driver. Tactics like limited time offers or only a few left create urgency, pushing us to act fast. In fact, over 56% of online shoppers say they have been influenced by FOMO. Big events like Amazon Prime Day generated more than $12.7 billion in 2023 alone. Social media makes it even worse, with 49% of millennials admitting that influencers' posts and trends on platforms like Instagram directly impact their buying decisions. The role of advertising in shaping consumer behavior. Advertising is a powerful tool used to influence consumer behavior, leveraging various psychological strategies to guide purchasing decisions. Techniques such as storytelling, color psychology, social proof, and subliminal messaging are regularly used in ads to make products more appealing. Here is a look at how these tactics work, supported by recent studies and data. Number one, storytelling in ads. Storytelling in ads creates emotional connections between consumers and brands, which can significantly influence buying behavior. A study by Journal of Marketing Research found that 92% of consumers prefer ads that tell a story as they evoke more positive emotions and increase engagement. Emotional storytelling builds brand loyalty by making consumers feel like they are part of a large narrative. Coca-Cola's Share a Coke campaign, for example, used personalized bottles with consumer names to create an emotional connection. The campaign led to a 7% increase in consumption and a notable boost in brand perception. Number two, color psychology. Color can influence emotions and decision making. Color psychology, a field that studies how color impacts behavior, reveals that colors such as red, blue, and green have specific emotional associations. A study by Impact of Color on Marketing shows that 85% of consumers make a purchase based on color alone. Red is often used in ads to create a sense of urgency, while blue is associated with trust and security. Hence, it's widely used in industries like banking and healthcare. For example, Pepsi and Facebook use blue to instill a sense of reliability and safety. Further, research from Color Matters explains how color influences brand recognition and purchasing behavior, confirming that up to 90% of snap judgments about products can be based on color alone. This explains why brands like McDonald's and Target rely heavily on red in their advertising to drive excitement and impulsive purchases. Number three, social proof in ads. Social proof refers to the idea that people tend to follow the actions of others, especially when they are uncertain. This tactic is widely used in advertising, often through customer reviews, testimonials, and influencer endorsements. A Nielsen study found that 92% of consumers trust recommendations from people they know, and 70% of consumers trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations. Furthermore, Influencer Marketing Hub reports that 70% of teenagers trust influencers more than traditional celebrities, demonstrating the power of social proof in connecting with younger audiences. Nike and Adidas are two major brands that have successfully used influencer marketing to connect with younger demographics, utilizing influencers to promote their products and generate consumer trust. This helps build authenticity and increases engagement, which in turn drives sales. Number four, subliminal messaging. Subliminal messaging involves sending cues to consumers that influence their behavior without their conscious awareness. While the effectiveness of subliminal messaging has been debated, studies show that it can influence consumer decision. A study published in the Journal of Consumer Research found that subliminal ads could influence purchasing behavior even when consumers were unaware of the hidden messages. A well known example is the use of hidden words or images in ads. For instance, researchers at Princeton University conducted a study where they flashed the words "Drink Coca Cola" for a split second during a movie. This led to a noticeable increase in Coca Cola sales. Although the impact of subliminal messaging is still questioned, a 40% increase in consumer behavior is often cited in studies, indicating that subconscious cues can still play a role in decision making. Peer influence on spending. The Indian consumer landscape reveals a profound narrative of peer influence driving spending behaviors, particularly among younger demographics. Gen Z, comparing 377 million individuals, represents a transformative economic force with the current spending power of $860 billion, fundamentally reshaping consumption patterns. In the Indian context, peer influence manifests through complex socio-economic mechanisms. Research indicates that each additional rupee spent by peers increases perceived consumption needs, effectively reducing individual utility by approximately 0.25 rupees. This phenomenon demonstrates how social comparisons directly impact economic decision making. The digital revolution has amplified peer influence exponentially. Social media platforms have become critical economic drivers, with 49% of millennials acknowledging direct purchasing influences from online interactions. Platforms like Instagram and YouTube have transformed consumer behavior, creating instantaneous trend propagation mechanisms. Consumption patterns reveal fascinating economic dynamics. Gen Z currently drives 43% of India's total consumption, with significant spending in categories like footwear 50%, dining 48%, and fashion 47%. By 2035, projections suggest this generation will control every second rupee of consumer spending, reaching a potential $2 trillion economic impact. Peer pressure extends beyond mere product acquisition. It represents a sophisticated social signaling mechanism. Luxury brands, technological gadgets, and lifestyle products become tools for social positioning. The economic implication is profound. Consumers are not just purchasing products but investing in social capital and perceived status. Conclusion. To wrap up, emotions, advertising, and peer influence all play a huge role in how we spend our money. Whether it's making impulsive purchases when we are stressed, being swayed by ads to make us feel like we need something, or feeling the pressure to fit in with what others are buying, these influences can lead us to spend more than we intend. But by recognizing these triggers, questioning the impact of ads, and setting personal financial boundaries, we can make more mindful choices about how we spend. So before your next purchase, take a moment to think critically. Ask yourself if it's something you truly need or if it is just influenced by emotions, marketing, or what others are doing. We would love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever made a purchase because of peer pressure or an emotional impulse? Share your experiences in the comments below and let's start a conversation. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights on consumer behavior. Thanks for watching.